Hey, what's going on, comic fans? Mr. Q Comics. I've got another haul video here. This is going to be my best haul for 2019. I'm not buying all these books always at the same time from the same person. So I'm just kind of grouping together books that I get in the same time frame and showing them off. This is two different shops, two different batches of books, some big keys in this stack. Super psyched to have them. Books I've wanted for a while. A couple of them with some big price tags that make it tough to get, but it's bonus season at work. I went ahead, I bit the bullet and put the money in because some of these books are just skyrocketing, and it's an investment. These are, to me, some of these I'm going to show are not, really investment quality books. They're just fun, just the love of the hobby, the love of the art. But you're buying them cheap, so that's part of the fun. But some of the books you're putting big money in, you should view them as investments. I'm not going to spend $500 on a book that just because I want to read it. I'll buy a reprint if that's the case. You're buying it because you're putting that money in because there is the potential it's going to go up in value. And a lot of these books, if you invest smart, they are going to go up in value. I don't know the stock market. I'm not a quote unquote investor. I can invest in comic books because I love the medium. I love the art. I love reading comic books. It's fun. It's addictive. Let's be honest. It's totally addictive. But if you can be smart about it, you can definitely turn this stuff into profits. And, it should be viewed as an investment, and you will get returns on it. There's plenty of people on YouTube far smarter than me, who know far more about comics and investing. I'll give a shout out to ETA Nick. I love watching his channel. He is super educational for me and smart as heck when it comes to the books, and he's got a lot of great philosophies. And you just look at his collection and look at what he does, buying, high grade books off eBay, slabbing and flipping them and making good profit. Why not? I think some people do frown upon it. I've gotten that attitude from certain shops I go into where certain people love to read books. They kind of, I don't know, some of them seem to have a problem with people who invest in books, speculators, like it's a four-letter word in the hobby. I don't really know why. I mean, I love comics. I go to my shops every week. I buy, modern books and I read them, but I really love buying the older books. I love buying stuff that's, unique, that's old, piece of history in a lot of cases. I just think it's super cool. And if it's going to go up in value, why the heck not? If you're going to me, it's as good as investing in anything. A lot of people collect coins, whatever you collect, you don't just collect it because you love, you're not spending all this money just because you want to read them. I mean, if you're going to spend $500 on a key issue, you're hoping it's going up in value. So anyways, that's my rant. Let's get to the books. So like I said, two stacks, really good stuff. I'm very excited about this haul. First shop, the first stack of books, actually, I think I got after, but it's not the kind of it's the least exciting of the two. So anyways, they're both pretty exciting. Youngblood number 2. You probably weren't expecting me to start out with some Rob Liefeld, but come on. Rob Liefeld. I love Rob Liefeld. It's like a love-hate relationship. Look, I couldn't do this. I'm not an artist. I could not do what Rob Liefeld does, but I do love the uniqueness of Rob Liefeld. I grew up with this art. I just think it's funny. I mean, look at Prophet here. It's first appearance of Prophet, first appearance of Shadowhawk. Prophet clearly has never skipped leg day. Look at the size. Look at the size of his leg. Look at the size of his foot compared to the size of his leg. It's hysterical. I don't know. I just love something about Rob Liefeld. I just find funny. He'd probably get mad. He might ban me if I was on Twitter, making those comments. I'd probably be blocked, but that's all right. I kid because I love Rob. So good stuff. It's only a few bucks. I had to get it. I never had it. So, of course, my favorite, Mr. McFarlane. I think I probably show him off in every single video. Conan 241. This is a book I didn't even know existed. I came across it in a dollar bin a few years ago and went, hey, that's a McFarlane cover. And I've discovered there's a lot of random covers McFarlane did in the late 80s, early 90s. I think there's a Quasar cover that's super cool. Of course, he did the Batman cover. God, what was that, 423? Oh, how can I forget that? It's one of my favorites. But anyways, it was a few bucks. I've got multiple copies. This is a cheap book, guys. And if you love McFarlane, you can find this easily, and it's awesome. I love Conan, and that's a sick, sick McFarlane cover. So I will get multiple copies of that. If I find them cheap, I'm buying it. So Back to Mr. Hughes. This was a few bucks. I think in my last video I was talking about the Catwoman covers. He's got a nice run on Wonder Woman. I like the Catwoman ones better, but this is one of my favorite Adam Hughes covers because I totally dig the way I love the Adam Hughes, the pinup style, of course. I mean, who doesn't? It's fantastic. The voluptuous, beautiful women. We all love that. But I love when he plays with the perspectives or I mean, just look at this. You got Wonder Woman in the reflection of this pilot's visor. That's just a fantastic, super imaginative cover. It's so impressive to me. And it's only $5. I don't think this gets a whole lot of attention. I just personally love it and am amazed at how an artist can do just doing the reflection of these fighter jets in the visor, his hands, her. It's just awesome. Great work. All right, back to Todd, another copy of the Polybag Spider-Man #1. I just keep coming across these lately. Never had them, never bought them, and now I just keep finding them. I for some reason, I didn't think I had the newsstand of the Polybag, but I have another copy. But so what? $10. I grabbed it. Probably a little more than I'd want to pay. But again, I always see this book marked at like $25 in my comic shops on the wall. I don't know why, but I love Todd. If it's cheap, I'm going to grab it. All right, so this is all from the first store, and I finished up with a big key. I have been eyeing this for a while. This has literally been sitting on their wall for over a year, and I'm surprised no one bought it. I went ahead and this time I grabbed it. I said, it's been sitting there. I'm going to get this book while it's here because it's just going up, and I'm sure it's going to go up even more. So, Forever People, #1. This is the first full appearance of Darkside. This was about $90. Okay, but it's gorgeous. It's I don't know if it's in the near mint range, but I mean it is sharp. It's definitely probably off white. I mean you could see it's yellowing a little around the edges. Really sharp on the spine. There is right there. You got some weird color loss on the blue. It's probably maybe some faint nicks, but man, I'm surprised no one grabbed that for that price. And I mean, I passed on it just because, $90 isn't cheap for a book. And I'm not a big DC guy. It's Jack Kirby, art and story. But, this is a big key for the DC universe. This is a funny book. I think ETA Nick does this video series where it's comparing the cameo to the first full appearance. So this is the first full appearance of Darkside. And what's funny about this is it's the cameo book, Jimmy Olsen 134, that's the money book, which I always thought is funny because typically it's the other way around. And I think he's right. I think it's just due to the cover. Like Hulk 180 and 181. People argue Hulk 180 is the first appearance of Wolverine, but the cover on 181 is just so much better. So anyways, I'm psyched to have this. This is probably something, I'll get rid of it at some point, but for the price, for what's happening in the market, high grade, I mean, this has got to at least be an 8.5 to me. So I will get this slabbed, and this is probably something down the road I will flip into something that I want in my collection, something that's, meaningful to me. Probably Spider-Man, some amazing Spider-Man key, whatever that may be. But still, super cool book. Can't go wrong with that. And who knows, I assume Darkseid's going to have to make his way into the DC universe at some point here. I mean, he's got to be the major villain, I would think. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's the, the kind of Thanos equivalent for DC. So I can't believe it's still sitting there. I just keep looking at it every time I go in. And I said, I'm just buying it today before it goes through the roof. I'm seeing slab copies on eBay, 8s being, people asking over 200. So, goodbye at, whatever it was, $89, I think. So, psyched to have that. All right, so I got 3 books left. This is all from one shop. This is more of a gaming shop that has books. I've bought from this guy before. His stuff is marked extremely, extremely high. So I went in the shop a couple of times, and it was always so overpriced, and I didn't know the guy, and I just never got anything. And he had some major keys on the wall. So last year I kind of went in there and started talking to him about books and realized he just sets everything super, super high. But if you go in, bring cash, number one. I think if you're going to buy some big books, do it in cash because people don't want to pay credit card fees and whatever. So you're going to get better deals that way. I think you're going to pay less if you pay in cash. So I just realized this guy, if you bundle stuff up and you make some big purchases, he will give you some good deals. So I get 3 books, okay, 3 big keys. First one, I already had it, but I was bundling. So, and I try and pick out his highest grade stuff. So I had the one book I went in for, which I'll show last, which is a big, big book. And I was trying to bundle stuff up to get my kind of the best bang for the buck. So Spider-Man 361, first appearance of Carnage. This book is hot. I've got a copy. This is sharp. It's got one little spine ding. And I'd love some feedback on this. It's got these 2 little tears. And I see this on a ton of these issues where you've got these tears, which I think is from the printing process, because I see it on a lot of books. So I don't even think that affects the grade. Please chime in if you know more, if you're familiar with kind of the printing process and how printing defects affect grade. I think this is going to be a 9.2, 9.4 at least. So I was just going to, I have a copy, but again, because I was bundling, I figured, you know what, I'm going to get a book that I'm going to unload at some point, because the other copy I have is super high grade. So that's how I usually approach this stuff. If I'm buying a book that's a big ticket item that I want in my PC, I'm trying to bundle with books that I'm going to flip to minimize the actual impact on myself. So, yeah, beautiful copy. Mark Bagley art. I never liked Mark Bagley when I was reading Spider-Man. It was a letdown when McFarlane left. He went to Larson, who's a good artist, but it was a big letdown for me personally. And then from Larson to Bagley was even a step down. Again, not to knock Bagley, I can't do this, but this, of all the Bagley art, this to me is the best cover from Mark Bagley. I think this is actually awesome. Somehow I didn't have it as a kid, but anyways, great book, hot book. Yeah, psyched to get another copy. So pricing wise, I can't remember because I bundled this all. So I can't remember what he had it marked at. He probably had it marked over $100, but I think I got like 60% off what he was asking. So, all right, second book, also a big key, Fantastic Four 67. This book, this is one of those books that gets confusing because you get so many keys revolving around Adam Warlock. I think this is marked as the origin and first appearance of him in Cameo. But I know issue 66 is also, I think, the start of the origin. Maybe the origin finishes in this issue. Cool Jack Kirby art here. I've got most of the Warlock books. This is the one I didn't have. It's been sitting on the wall. I figured, you know what, might as well bundle it in because I think these Warlock books continue to go up. Anything revolving around the Fantastic Four, any Fantastic Four keys from the Silver Age, with whatever's going to happen down the road in the MCU, psyched to get it, and it's a good copy, mid-grade copy, so super psyched. But now on to the big book I've wanted for a while, book everyone wants. Had to bite the bullet because these prices are just going through the roof. Same with the Fantastic Four books, but okay, I actually went in hoping he had his Hulk 181 because he had it last year, and I said, you know what, I just got to buy it. But he had sold it, and I figured it would be gone, but it sat there for a long time. But the next best thing he had was still there. It's giant size X-Men #1. I'm a Marvel guy. This is one of the big Marvel keys for me. I've been wanting it for a long time. It's definitely faded. You can see it's kind of a little bit brighter here. It's the problem with this store. This guy's got them stored on the wall, and I think they've been sitting there for so long. I think he's definitely, the way he's storing them is causing some fading. Silver Age seems to be fine, but this Bronze Age stuff, I've bought some other books from him, and they're definitely getting faded. But, I'm super happy with this copy. This has got so many keys to it. It's tough to even list it. Of course, it's the first appearance of the new team, first appearances of Colossus, Thunderbird, Nightcrawler, Storm, the first black female superhero. You got the second full appearance of Wolverine. First time they used Snicked for his, claws. I think you got the first cameo of Ilyana Rasputin. Huge book. I got all 3 of these. I talked them down to 600, which I thought was super fair. So the way I kind of work it out in my head, well, what's the total discount, and apply it to whatever he was asking. He was probably asking for like $1,200 for this or something. I can't remember. So it worked out to a little over $400, which right now, copies slabbed as, a 5 or 6, they're going for over $1,000. So I think cleaned and pressed, this book is in the fine range, even with the fading. I don't know enough about it, but I've been surprised to see some slabs that are just big, heavily faded books, and I'm shocked at the grades they're getting. They're still like a 4 or 5, and some of these are like look bleached white. So I don't like it. I hate the fading. It's one of those personal things that just I can't stand. But I'm not going to pass it up. I've never seen these on a wall. I've never walked into a shop. It's never there. Anyone who has them is slabbing them, selling them online or at auction. So psyched to have this. Hulk 181 is the big book I really was hoping to get this year. But, these X-Men keys, X-Men 94 has kind of been the next one I've been targeting, which is definitely more affordable. But this giant size X-Men has gone through the roof. If you're contemplating it, guys, jump on it sooner rather than later, because already from when I was looking at prices a few weeks ago, pricing out this book to when I was contemplating buying it, trying to see if this was going to be, if I could get it at a really fair price. I think this book is easily, as is, without me touching it, I could sell it for double what I paid right now. I'm pretty confident. So X-Men stuff's hot. I've been stocking up on the X-Men keys. So hope you guys like it. I'm psyched about it. If you did like the video, please like, subscribe, hit notifications. As always, guys, happy hunting and good luck finding some deals out there.